Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today we're playing some Braum. Why? Because I really want to play some Braum. I actually was itching to bring back this champion and build some decks around them. I don't really have a good reason, as there's no recent buff or nerf regarding any of the cards that tend to revolve around this champion, but I just felt like it. So I dedicated my entire stream yesterday to building a solid deck in the metagame around Braum, and we ended up going back to good old Bloody Winter, but a much better, more efficient, and overall more competitive version of the Crimson mid-range archetype, which is an archetype that has been deemed as not as top tier as other current meta decks, right? But I do feel like it is very underrated. It just has to be built correctly. And it still does have a few bad matchups, but has a really strong game against what we are right now experiencing as a pretty Demacia Bannerman heavy sort of metagame, right? As you know, all sorts of strategies are revolving around, but it's more like a mid-range environment, and that is one that we are definitely very happy to be a part of with a deck like this, as we have a lot of neat tools and interaction that can enable us to overwhelm other mid-range decks in what is a highly synergistic build that really capitalizes on Braum's regeneration keyword. So basically, regarding Braum, I tried all sorts of different decks. Like before, I ended up with this deck, which was the final deck that I built on the stream, and today's gameplay are the last 3 games of my stream, which were the 3 games that I had with this deck. I tried all sorts of things. I tried combining Braum with Demacia, you know, the buff Braum archetype that I showcased in the channel a few days back. I tried to make it a little bit better. I even mixed it with some Poro synergy, as I do feel like Lonely Poro and Poro Herder are actually really damn decent cards, and I think I'll be trying to fit in that, like, you know, Poro Curve and other Freljord decks in the future, as I feel there's some untapped potential to that. But I tried Braum with Demacia. I like the concept because I get to use standalone and take heart to buff Braum quite consistently, and combine the buff Braum with really efficient removal in the forms of single combat, which also helps Braum level up as well. But unfortunately, the combination of those 2 colors in such a proactive, greedy deck leaves us vulnerable to Ionia-based matchups specifically that run Will of Ionia, and also Shadow Isles control decks with Vengeance and Runation, and also Freljord Frostbite decks as well, as there are some Ash decks running around, can also shut us down pretty effectively. So ultimately, the deck had some good matchups, but some pretty horrendous ones, and I decided to move on back into Noxus. And the reason why I ended up in Noxus is because I was looking of the best ways to enable Braum. I really like Braum as a champion. Like, my recent obsession with him is because I just really love deck building around him. I think he is what I really like about Braum is that he's a champion that requires you to invest into him. But if you do invest into him, he gives back a lot. As you are buffing, like the 0-5 stat line initially does not much at all, right? But once you get some buffs on him, Braum becomes an absolute powerhouse. And unless there is single target or removal in general that bypasses stats, you don't really handle Braum well at all, and he becomes more and more snowbally and can potentially reach a point in which he just takes games by himself. And I love playing Braum against other mid-range decks, and I feel like that really contributes to, or Braum himself really contributes to the quality of today's gameplay that I got for you guys today. So ultimately, I decided to go Noxus because I believe Noxus has the best ways to enable him, not only through buffs, as you guys can see, we're playing a full set of Brothers Bond, but we're also playing cards that can damage Braum and thus enable the potential take heart, as that is the prime way to buff Braum to begin with, right? So I ended up going back to the Crimson archetype, but I changed it quite a bit from before. Like, this is a very different sort of like deck from the prior Crimson mid-range deck, which I ultimately deemed, you know, tier 3 at best. I believe this one has a much more competitive viability. And the reason is because we're going faster, we're more aggressive. Instead of focusing on avalanches and babbling Burk and just, you know, purely on our Crimson sort of like core with some health buffs and such, we're going faster. We have Omen Hawk as a 1-drop, which we did not run before. We're running a full set of Brothers Bond alongside House Spider, which is a really solid 2-drop. I've spoken English multiple times about how good House Spider really is, and in this deck it provides us with early game board presence that can also enable Brothers Bond pretty easily, as well as it does give us 2 bodies for 2 mana. We have the Crimson Disciple alongside the Crimson Aristocrat. I love Crimson Aristocrat with Braum. It's one of the reasons, like, she's actually the main reason why I ended up going back to Noxus, believe it or not, because we're able to hit Braum for 1 damage and thus enable the potential take card, and also permanently buff his attack by 2, which it goes a long way. Once Braum gets attack, it's really menacing for the opponent, right? So because we're running these, as we curve out, we are playing the Crimson Curator, solid 3-drop alternative that is in a way the card draw engine in our deck. As we keep curving out, we have Whirling Death, another reason to play Noxus now, as it's one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. And then we got your boy Vladimir and Scar Mother Vrina. Vladimir and Vrina were actually like the last additions, because I was trying to resort to the Crimson archetype without necessarily having to play Vladimir. But ultimately, I realized that because now I'm more aggressive and fast-paced, Vladimir can enable me to close out games, as I can play him on turn 5 and I can deal damage directly to the Nexus. So it gives us reach, while also enabling our Crimson units like the Curator and the Disciple to get even more damage going on for us. And it also can potentially enable Scar Mother Vrina, which is an absolutely outstanding finisher in the mid-range matchups, as we are able to drop her, use her as a solid blocker thanks to her high health stat. And once we get a few pings off on her, she becomes absolutely menacing, as we are able to bring her attack just to 8 with Overwhelm immediately by combining her with a Crimson Aristocrat. And then we also have the likes of Transfusion and even just direct buffs through the likes of Brothers Bond, for example, to get her going. And I also love combining Vrina with Whirling Death as a finisher, as we can Whirling Death the unit that's blocking her. Because of her Overwhelm keyword, she will deal all of her attack stat in form of damage to the opposing Nexus, even though she got blocked beforehand. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deck list right there. It is, like I said, a much better version of Crimson mid-range, because it's faster, it's meaner, and it's more efficient at racing control decks, and can also keep up with aggro decks better as well. What is the worst matchup with this deck? Well, quite simply, elusives. I did not run into an elusive deck with this build yesterday, but I don't need to run into one to know that that's definitely by far our worst matchup, as we do have Braum and ways to buff Braum to pick up the opposing elusive units with our challenger attacks, but barring that, we don't really have any other interaction with them, and it becomes a bit of a game of racing, right? And they can be more efficient at us than us at that, because they can bypass our defenses, and they can use their Kinku Wayfinders and their little chump blockers to deny our attacks early on. So we have to hope they don't have Will of Ionia, which is also really strong against us, and try to race them with our early game curve, our Storm potential, and Vladimir alongside Scar Mother to finish them off potentially. But it is definitely a very tough matchup, not unwinnable, but not favorable for us at all, and that's important to note as well, because the deck still does have a clear weakness, but barring that, it does really well against pretty much everything else. And I just really love it, man. It's super fun, it's super interactive, it's also highly synergistic, and it is a pleasure to play. So hopefully you guys enjoy the gameplay that I got for you today, and that's all I gotta say. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Runeterra content. Leave a like for Braum. He's a nice guy, even though there's a dark side to him, as this is kind of a bit of a bloodlust sort of deck, and I guess who would have thought that was Braum's home, right? But yeah, have a solid day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.
What's that noise? I must get out of here.
Let me show you what I can do.
That egg. Did it move?
I love a taste of the action.
Hopefully no Mark of the Owls.
You have to get me out of here.
Look what you did. Oh, I can't wait. My turn.
Please, I have connections.
I was definitely expecting that, but I still have to go for damage because I think if I win this game, it has to be through me going over the top. What if I preserve Crimson Aristocrat? No, it's still like too damn. This is interesting.
Let's get a good look at you.
Lady Elise, where are you?
The winter's claw will purge the weak. No mercy for cowards!
By all means, get in my way.
A Scar Mother does not yield!
Will you be quiet?
Just another winter!
Mother! Try to understand. I matter, you don't.
Fuck.
Delicious. Is that all?
Oh, GG, buddy. Oh, there we go. Nice. I think this variant is a notch more aggressive than the one that I built a while back. And I think that may be the key for this archetype to have a chance in the meta, you know? I kind of want to keep this entire hand. I'm maybe going to drop the Transfusion. You know, the Transfusion is pretty neat, because I have a lot of spells, though. I definitely want to keep Whirling Death.
Don't worry, I've read all about this.
Nerd!
Let's test my theorem.
Let's wrap the spider. There's the little psycho.
I have the name.
I need the reputation. I could try to go for the Whirling Death, but I'm not gonna aim to do that just now. I like how Curator just completely stops my opponent from attacking, by the way. I can use these little spiders as jump blockers.
All part of the plan I just made up.
I could play Vladimir,
Take heart.
but I'd rather go Braum, because with Braum I can enable the Take Heart.
Anything helps. Stick your lip out and give them puppy eyes. Trust me.
Let's show our friends the door. Ha! This is fun, yes?
And that's where Braum really comes into play, man. In these sort of like, in these aggressive unit-based matchups, Braum is a powerhouse. I'm gonna float some mana here. Next turn will be at 6, 8 potentially, which enables us to, like, we could drop the Crimson Disciple. Okay, now we're going in.
Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
I can't wait.
Now we're going in.
It is easy, see?
Ooh, Lucasier. Just another winter!
Well, not at all.
Help is underway.
Let's see what you can do.
But I'm rich!
He draws a card off of this, I think that's fine. I'm losing this guy right here. But I'm taking this. All according to my calculations.
I'm on a roll!
Okay, so by doing that, that would take that.
Everyone goes boom! Idiots!
But my friend...
We'll take what we want. The rest will burn.
First we fight. We should be friends. How about a game of tag? Broomfield much too heavy for you.
You little wuss. Right, stop decking. Got him, baby! Got him! Ah, nice. Clean, clean, clean. I like that matchup a lot. All right. Okay, double hawk. Doesn't do anything. Am I stoned? I mean, are you? Not yet.
I'll write my own story.
Gonna wait for the night.
Don't get in my way.
Don't get in my way.
I'll try anyone you want.
Bring in the heat.
These thick boys, though.
Edvin, come here, handsome.
Hello, dear. What have you got us into now?
I love the throw your theme.
Need Demacia!
The bloodier the better.
My turn.
Radiant strike could be a thing. Radiant strike could be a thing. So let's play around that. Interesting. He wanted to bait it out, I guess.
Head to the face!
Soldiers, to me.
Batter him!
This is mercy.
A real battle!
Can't fight on an empty stomach!
But I'm rich.
Strike hard, strike true.
Is that all?
Ooh, is it the mustache? Who knows?
Rum is on the job.
I tried.
First we fight. Show me your best.
It's nothing personal.
I'm ready.
It is easy, see? I am the blade in the darkness.
Cool story, bro. Like really, really fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
I have the name. I need the reputation.
Feel the sizzle!
Glory unrelenting.
Eat up, friend!
Not the face.
Think hard. Think strong.
Yes! Time to celebrate!
Smell that? A bite to cook it!
Be grateful I even know.
One banner, one destiny.
Can set these up later in the line.
My shield is my sword. Good luck. Have fun.
The bloodier the better.
Don't back down.
Into darkness.
I want to keep a space open here. Alright, he's going for it.
Stand strong.
He's gonna attack with this onto this.
Batter him. We must.
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
Fine, fine.
Oh, please.
Alright.
Fight another day.
I'm concerned about a relentless pursuit. That could kill me here. So I'm gonna play you.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Because if he does have a relentless pursuit, he should have played it before. Yeah, because now I can do this.
I don't carry chain.
Feel the sizzle. Show them our metal.
Eat up, friend.
Will you be quiet?
Everyone bleeds for the right price. Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
I can't wait.
If I play you, I deal 4 damage over there.
Be grateful I even noticed you.
Okay, next turn he can trigger this. He can clear a good portion of my board. If I play Vladimir now, I trade this into this. This can be traded into one of those. What if I just double? What if I just go all in with these? Oh, he clears 2 of them easily.
Behold my glory.
I forgot about the buff.
You must be Lord Vladimir.
I forgot about the buff. Oh my god, the Omen Hawk. I forgot about it for a second.
It's nothing personal.
Meet them head on.
Look what you did. Ew. Oh, this hurts.
Discipline and steel.
Oh my god, I can't believe you pulled that one.
Be Demacia.
And he top decked that too. You gotta be kidding me, man.
Let me show you what I can do.
Blood isn't a toy here.
Courage, soldier.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Let me show you what I can do.
Blood
Wow,
isn't a toy, dear. People are.
that's frustrating.
Batter him. We march.
No, 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 no,
Show
no,
them
no,
our metal.
no,
No one goes hungry.
no. God damn it.
Come here, darling.
God damn it, dude.
spirits and their souls.
Alright, the other one has to be an elite.
Victory lies ahead. Time for talking. We should be friends. This is my opponent. Taste the glory. It is easy, see? Strength and grace, beauty in the blade. Harry, riposte, you are toast. Feel the sizzle! Aha! Run them through, hardly fair. Glory unrelenting.
Okay. Okay. My god, this match.
Help is underway.
Let's get a good look at you.
Sometimes icy heart just needs warm smile. A morsel of regret. A disgrace.
Alright, let's go, baby. Let's go.
By all means, get in my way.
Let's show our friends the good luck. Have fun.
I love a tasty reaction.
What if this man has a judgment? What if he top decked a judgment? That would be crazy, right?
Ha! This is fun, yes?
They don't play that. Oh, yes! Yeah, boy! There we go. God, that game was crazy. Oh, when he got the fucking sergeant, and then on top of that, he draws into the war chef to just like kill my Vladimir. Oh my god, that was so tilting. But we came back, man. Braum MVP. I mean, the entire deck MVP, dude. My god, that was fun.